Hi guys! I'm so excited for today's video because this topic is truly something I'm very passionate about. I would love to share a few thoughts, tips and tricks regarding finding your voice and how to learn how to sing. So let's dive into it. First, I'd like to say that, maybe you are one of these people that say, "Oh, I can't sing, I have the worst voice, I definitely can't sing." Yeah, you can. The voice is like anything else in life. If you spend time cultivating it, it will become stronger, it will become more flexible. You can build technique, and I'll give some tips about how to do that in a minute. But just know that this voice that you have, it's unique, it's only yours. There will never be another voice like yours. So really treasure it and remember that. It's your fingerprint of your soul in a way. So it's really cool. So now that we established that we need to actually spend time cultivating our voice in order for it to flourish, how do we do that? Well, my number one tip for you would just be tone. Tone on vowels. If it's painful, you're doing something wrong, just tone Just tone some vowels at your own pace, 5, 10, 15 minutes a day in your own key. Try to change it up a bit, and you'll see that even just doing that builds stamina and strength for your voice. I would recommend doing it maybe 3 times a week. Make sure you at least have a day in between where your voice can rest. This is actually how I warm up before my shows. I just do a few simple things like toning. And then once the voice becomes warm, I might go up a few notes and down a few notes, and I'll do some scales, and that's it. Keep it simple, and it's not supposed to hurt. You can build your way to higher range or lower range, but don't start there. Just get comfortable using your voice, and the rest will come over time. My second tip is listen to jazz. Especially Sarah Vaughan. Sarah Vaughan had an incredible technique and range. Listening to her helped me personally, as she uses her chest voice a lot, her head voice a lot, and she moves very effortlessly between those two. So once your subconscious hears technique like that, it's my philosophy that it will become easier for you too to just do that naturally. This is a generalization, but I know that a lot of women, myself included, talk on a certain frequency in a certain way, and it can even feel unnatural for a lot of us to go down here when it's needed, So practice that by listening. Listen to jazz, Sarah Vaughan, listen to opera, listen to recordings where people use their range, people play with the timing, and that brings me to the third step. After you've listened extensively, and I'm talking possibly years, you are able to take all your listening and blend it with your personality and create your own style. How do you create your own style? It just feels good for you. It feels like you. You don't have to put on something. It just feels like you. It's blended with your life experience, who you are, and what you've been listening to. It comes out. So for me, timing is very important to me as a jazz singer. I prefer to be behind the beat or to play with timing of words, whereas somebody else who's better at ballads and range might do even tempo and high arias and they're best at that. I know I'm not the best at that, and I'm cool with that because I've got my own style and my audience that appreciates me for what I can share. So basically what I'm just trying to say is, don't be afraid of your own style. Don't be, be yourself. Just experiment, listen, be you, and then before you know it, you have something that's uniquely yours. Go with it. Don't be scared. Go with it. My fourth tip is, when you are singing, when you have a feeling of your voice and your style and all of that, make sure that you remember what the song is about, because as a singer, you're telling a story. So the most beautiful thing is when a singer really connects emotionally to the story they're telling. That's what touches people. That's what engages people, and that's what feels good as a performer too, when you can really convey the meaning of the song. So spend time when you pick your material, when you prepare for a show, spend time thinking about how this touches you, how you can convey that. If you didn't take acting classes, maybe you should. My last tip is that if you find yourself really enjoying singing, maybe it becomes a part-time career or a career, make sure that you know your limits in terms of vocal rest. When I have shows, the day of the show, I try not to talk at all because I want to save my voice. Granted, my shows usually are like 3 times 45 minutes, so I need to really put out when I do have a show, and that's why I need to pull back before. But just know that the voice, like anything else in life, it's not an inexhaustible resource that just goes one way. It also needs the other. It needs rest. And when you rest, your voice has a chance to repair itself, to get stronger. So definitely, that's my tip. If you find yourself very busy with singing, try not to talk during the day. Try not to sing too much or at all in between singing jobs or commitments. You definitely will need to rehearse songs and learn material. You cannot spend time learning things the day of the show or the day of the recital or whatever it is. You need to do that before so that you can rest, conserve your energy, and then put out at your recital or at your show. So those were my very best tips for singing and taking care of your voice. If you're brand new to singing, just tone, baby. That's it. Just tone, get comfortable, make noise. It's so beautiful. Like and subscribe if you like this. Thank you. See you in the next one.